So, my boss is on a customer shit list. Yeah, I think one of his challenges is scheduling, and this customer was out their computer like 2 weeks. He really didn't want to do it. He's trying to be a big shot and not becoming more of a tech. He wants to be hands off, more of sales and administration. He's not really doing it in a high quality kind of way. I think he could do better if he could reflect, but if he is who he is, I don't believe that's possible. It's been a tough few months I've worked here. I've learned a lot. I've taken the spiritual aspect and dived deep, recognized that I'm strong. And I'm not weak because I feel affected by it, or like I have this feeling like I'm on edge, like I've got electricity traveling through my body. I don't know if you've ever been shocked or electrocuted. You get that tingly feel that hurts. A really mild, but all over the body sort of sensation that's similar to that. That's sort of the byproduct of narcissism. I want to be compassionate as possible, but I have fantastic ideas of getting even. I keep telling myself that's not the right way to do it. And I think the most healthy way to do this is to figure out a healthy way to move on financially. I've applied to several jobs locally. Also, I'm willing, definitely, totally going home is an option. I thought that maybe going home might be the better way to go because I've got more resources down there where friends could take me in and I wouldn't have to sleep in the car. And then I could get my bearings. Now that I've had a few, maybe 6 months, 7 months of employee experience, I've got that jitter. I noticed when I was out applying for jobs or interviewing at first, I was very, very rusty. And being on your own, you don't interview as an employee because you're used to calling all the shots and you know you're smart, you know you're competent. But being an employee is a different sort of challenge. I wouldn't even say it's easier because you have to play politics. When you work for yourself, you can kind of shoot from the hip and you don't have to mind your P's and Q's so much. So that's really where I am. Today was a better day. I got to manage. It's always a better day when I get to manage the shop. I almost got an hour cut off of my schedule because the customer that has my boss on a shit list, she really did not want me to come drop off the computer. She was under the impression that my boss was going to come drop it off. But he was really trying to not do it. So I called, it was scheduled, I offered, and she said no. But she's been without her computer for 2 weeks. And then she begrudgingly called me. She recognized that I'm probably competent, I'm probably good at a conversation, and she let me come over. So I came over, I did as I do, I'm very good with customers, calmed her down, gave her another hour of service. I ultimately had to double up on her data. She is a unique user. She's elderly, but she's a very heavy user. She's got a lot of content. So she had a 2 terabyte hard drive, or SSD, and her Dropbox account also has 1.8 terabytes. So my boss thought something was quote unquote corrupted because she couldn't input her PIN, her Windows login PIN. I pulled the drive and I find out it's full. So her Dropbox account was overwhelming the drive. I advised her that it might be a good idea to replace the computer because it's a several-year-old computer, but it does go to Windows 11, and she insisted. She wanted to put more effort into that computer. So $220 later for a drive, for a 4 terabyte drive, 2 hours of labor. So 1 hour of in-store labor and 1 hour of on-site hand-holding. I knew that she was going to be happy with what I offered because I'm always good with my customers. She's just has a personal problem with the boss because he's been blowing her off. And customers pay good money. They develop rapport with a particular individual. What my boss has trouble understanding is that us technicians being abused by him the way we are aren't sticking around. And I think a lot of the bigger companies that he works with recognize that he can't keep long-term techs. So unfortunately for him, I don't think this is a lesson he can learn in such a short period. Not in this lifetime. Narcissism is a nasty thing. And I don't think you calm down until the very end of life. So those are my thoughts for the evening. I'm looking forward to the end of the week. I think the car is due for some organization. It's been about 15 degrees warmer than it has been, so it snowed last week. Very minimal amounts of snow, like 2 or 3 inches. So anyone in the Midwest, you probably wouldn't have called a snow day, but that's what people here in Portland do. Half the town closes down. It's kind of pathetic because even me from LA, it's totally drivable. Yeah, I have brand new tires, did not put chains on, but I still feel safe. I wasn't slipping around, and this is a front-wheel drive vehicle. So I'm not much of a lead foot these days, so there's that. It helps when you baby yourself around. I did notice one time I was in the Salton Sea and it iced over. So one of the tricks I taught myself, it's probably known among experienced drivers, but I just downshifted to first and slid my way down the hill. It worked really well. So I didn't have to touch the brakes or worry about locking the wheels up. It has ABS because it is a modern car, but I was only traveling at 5 miles an hour, being safe because I didn't want to find myself off in a ditch. But anyway, that's a side note. So, yeah, I'm looking for my next chapter. This is it. I'm done. I have to figure out exactly what day I want to quit. That's the challenge right now. My paycheck's going to be missing 2 days of work because of these quote-unquote snow days. That's really annoying. Another reason to leave because my boss, obviously, it was snowy. You could argue it was a slightly more dangerous environment. But quite frankly, I've realized the work is hit and miss. It's not solid. It's not consistent. He has a failing business. And as an outsider, I recognize that he has certain problems. There's currently 3 of us techs, and we all recognize he's the narcissist that he is. And our newest tech is, she's committed to a 2-hour situation. She wants to hold on for 2 hours. I'm sorry, the phone rang and got distracted. 2 years. So, and then one of the other technicians, he has a history in military. So he's young and, what's the term? He's willing to take orders because he's an actual literal soldier. I'm the empath, so when a narcissist starts barking at me, I have to breathe deep. So anyway, sorry, I got distracted because my friend Michelle just called me. I didn't want to interrupt the video with her calling. So I am going to call it quits for the evening. Thank you. Thank you for the acknowledgments. Every time someone comments, it does feel good to know that someone thinks highly of me and positively when they say you can do it, or things will get better, or you'll be all right. Those comments are more meaningful than you might realize. It's free. You're not giving me money. You're just giving me energy. Thank you. I'll talk to you maybe tomorrow. I don't know if I feel like it, but I know one of the challenges YouTubers have is they feel pressured to offer up content. I don't want to do that. I tried to set myself an earlier goal of daily. I'm not that interesting. So, there we go. Have a good night.